What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Minecraft. Let's get you out of this hole. Ah, what is this? Well, this is inside of a structure that I was playing around with a sort of a palette with. It takes a lot of my normal design, but I've threw in, of course, some really interesting pairing blocks. I think the tough, especially the tough bricks, they have like a tint to them, like a colorful tint. And I really enjoy it, especially pairing it up with the warped wood. It's not warp stem. That's the vine, but the warp wood. And then we've got like a darker the deep slate, and it's just the regular deep slate except for the stairs, of course. We have the deep slate acting as our road, which is going to be very useful up here. Now down under, of course, it's going to be less useful, as I can get some rockets on, because of course down under is just a bunch of deep slate. So we'll have to figure out what we're going to do for roads down here. But definitely the deeper parts, because there's deeper parts than this. But you have to go further back into the cave. That being said, we have some roads, which is nice. I still need to clear this into this area, and as you may have noticed from the time lapse at the beginning of the episode, we cleaned up a lot of the non-stone blocks. Did I hear I heard a slime. But we cleaned up a lot of the non-stone blocks, the andesite, the granite, the dripstone blocks themselves, and a lot of the floor was, had water spots. So we cleaned all that up so that we could get sort of a clean palette before we start building. And so I just wanted to sort of test the build and the style that I wanted to go for. I ended up thinking that it was too bland initially, and of course, like, detailing is gonna have to be added and stuff like that. But I thought about adding this andesite because I was using this website for Minecraft palettes, and I believe it's just like blockpalettes.com. As I click to the other screen and figure it out. And so these are sort of like block palettes that are together, or blocks that are together in a palette that I found. And I was really trying to make these two work, so I was really surprised when I could find sort of all of that together. But today's episode, we're going to work on this. What is this? Well, this is going to be a wool farm. And that's why we've been breeding up the sheep over here. You may have noticed in my inventory, got some wheat. So we have been slowly breeding up sheep. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Ooh, one more. And none of them are white, except for that one, which is pretty funny. Oh, no, that's just the carpet. Okay. Yeah. So we'll dye those, and then we're gonna get them into this farm. But first, we gotta clear out space for the farm. with that time lapse done, we were able to clear out our entire area. We did end up breaking through, and I cleared too much on this side. We ended up breaking through down here, but I think what that gives us is the opportunity to add some facades to this area that it's sort of outlined. Of course, if I didn't make the mistake of breaking through, we may not have needed to create a facade there, but we'll want to eventually anyways, so this sort of just forces our hands into the matter. But the main entrance will still be up here. There won't be really any entrance. There might be one entrance down there actually, just to get to the lower level, so we don't have to have it from the upper level. But we'll be able to come in up here. And it will be just one step down. It'll be a half slab downwards. So I guess there is that. But we'll be walking on the half slab here and having the devices up here. So let me go and walk you through this. If you haven't seen a sheep farm or a wool farm in the past, this is a very basic design. I'm not sure it's efficient per se. It's very efficient for what I need. I did this off memory, but at the same time kind of designed it myself. You could probably find something close to this on YouTube already, so I'm not going to give you a full tutorial. But basically what happens is a sheep goes inside here, and there's glass here. Again, I probably need to get rid of this part of the data pack. But there is a observer looking at the block the sheep is on. So whenever the sheep eats the grass, or I guess technically the grass updates, it's going to spark this block, which will turn this redstone on, which then fires this dispenser. The dispenser will have shears in it, so we could go ahead and place a shear in there if you want. But the dispenser will have shears and it'll be fed more shears. And then it'll shear the sheep, and then the wool will drop there. And it drops into this hopper minecart, which is detecting through the grass, which then feeds into the droppers. The dropper, having one down here, turns on the comparator, pushes the piston, fires off the observer clock, which then will trigger these two droppers several times, which pushes it back into the chest that will have access from the top. I'm only doing a single chest right now because I don't think we really need more than that at the moment. And we'll have 16, so we'll have one per each color of wool. Which again, really should be fine with what we need. But I got 16 of them to do the exact same thing with, so let me go ahead and do that, and I'll be back with you when it's done. Let's talk, because I have been doing some stuff off camera. And you may notice I'm wearing gold. That's because that stuff has been in the nether. And that portion of the stuff, because how many times can I say it? I'm not going to reveal to you until next episode. However, we still have a lot of this episode to do. So, let's resume our sheep farm. I ended up putting all 16 sheep in and dyeing them, which was more of a hassle than I thought it would be, because when I put them all into minecarts, they all scattered to the wind or merged into one. which made the whole thing really hard. But we did get them all in. The machines are working. We're getting all colors pretty well. And you may hear villagers. I'll show you that in a minute. But we're almost done here. We just got to get the walls up to make the area look prettier and cover some of the beauty marks here around the side here and Again, we haven't done anything upstairs, but down here we have another villager tunnel, sort of what we did with the farming one, but we did one for toolsmithing. Then they all died, and then I brought more in, because apparently when I bred them up before today, I guess it was after the last episode, I threw a bunch of carrots in, and apparently they were breeding like crazy. So apparently they had like 2 times this amount of villagers stuck in that glass chamber over there. But yeah, we did this so we could trade for iron, because our iron farm is working phenomenally. That being said, I am keeping, you know, a good amount of iron on hand, just in case I want to use it. I could use it for my next farm. Oh, how many blocks do I need? I don't need 4 stacks of blocks. So I guess I could do that? Man, I haven't built out iron blocks in survival Minecraft before. That'd be cool. I do need to decorate this place. That'll be easy. We'll do it somewhat like we did this the farming one over here. I ended up blocking up both of them as I went AFK for more iron, and so therefore more emeralds. We'll probably just like duplicate this design and that's a very weird sound. We'll duplicate the design, maybe put in some sort of doors or something here so that things can't easily get in. Pumpkin farm's going slower than I would like. I think adding another layer onto it, probably up top, would be a thing we could do. And maybe a shulker loader. Yeah. Speaking of shulkers, I've been gathering resources for the second half of this video. I'm hoping to get a lot of progress on that done very quickly. Really, the only resource we're missing is the 110 stacks of glass that we need, which is quite a bit. I'm going with white stained glass because we have a lot of bone meal, and well, we also have a lot of red, I guess. But that way we can see our blocks versus the glass that, again, we can't really see as well. But that being said, our next steps here today is getting this taken care of. I don't have a roof design yet, so that may be not until later, but it is something that I want to get taken care of as well, of course. So we're going to continue on the walls, and then I'll pop back in and we'll go end raiding, I suppose. Yeah. My army of slime minions. You know, I find it interesting that so many of these have water dropping. As much time as I've AFK'd here, that we haven't gotten any new spawns of stalagmites. Or well, dropstone, right? Dropstone? Hold up. Dripstone. Alright. Let's look at this sheep farm. It's gonna be loud for a minute. I'm sorry, guys. I finished the walls, and I've decided to go with andesite on the ends, and then just like a stone patch, because I feel like it changes the texture just a little. It makes it nicer. I'm already sick and tired of hearing these sheep. Hold on. Great. We still have the ceiling left to do, and like I said in the last one, in the last clip, I wasn't sure what I wanted to have. I wanted it to be darker. I knew that for sure. I wanted the ground to be lighter than the ceiling. And so I thought I'd add in our deep slate. That's what these are called. And then I did spruce because we have the spruce trapdoors. Though I wasn't too sure if this was going to be too light or if I wanted something darker. So here is dark oak. Now, I like how the sides of the slabs are lighter and sort of match with the spruce. Though I'm kind of stuck on which one's good. Or better, I should say. We could also do like andesite in the middle strip. That would brighten it a lot more, but it sort of would tie it into the main palette, I think, a little bit more, because this is sort of just out there. I think this would do good with maybe the andesite in the middle. Maybe that's what we'll do. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments. I want to know what you guys think on the palettes, because this feels a little too different than the rest of the room for now. So anyways, we're gonna leave it, and I'll close it up when I have an answer from either you guys or in the next episode. That being said, what are we working on next? Well, I just finished gathering 59 levels of XP apparently, and repairing all my tools that I've been breaking several of. And so we have an entire box of everything we need to make our next farm. The only thing is we need to go to another dimension, and not another dimension, but a end dimension. So we're gonna go and do that. I don't need those pants anymore, right? Where are my pants? They're probably over here. No? Pants? Volume? Oh, my headphones are just turned up way high. Pants, 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 pants. Ooh. No. Means they're probably over here in this mess. I'm telling you guys right now. Next episode is definitely a storage system. Sharpness 1, sharpness 3. Huh. How do I not know where my pants are? Hey! That looks like pants that could be mine. Anyways, we're gonna go to the end. We're gonna build a farm. Probably in a time lapse or something, because I have tried building this farm once and it did not work. So we're gonna try again. And I'm basically going to put on a tutorial video, since it's been years since I've built the original farm originally. And, well, maybe it can work this time, and maybe we can have a lot of this resource. Have you guessed it yet? Have you guessed the resource? You'll figure it out soon. But let's roll a time lapse. Alright, and as some of you may have figured out by now through the time lapses, we have built a shulker farm. That way we can get as many shulker shells as we want. Because I want... What is that what? That's not a thing. Just face through the floor. Well, that's awesome. Anyways, yeah, we want to shulker shells so that we can have basically deep storage systems we can craft like iron ingots into iron blocks, and then put all the iron blocks into shulker chests and have crazy amount of storage, all very compact. So that's sort of what I want to do going forward with our future farms, and I of course want to update the iron farm as well. But that's going to be it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next week. Bye.